and connection to the misuse of funds by the organization. Take a listen.
There is a new indictment that includes the former CFO of SPLC. I believe she was part of the effort to open bank accounts in completely fictitious companies' names and make payments to individuals for reasons that were not accurate as described.
Prosecutors allege money from donors funded extremist activity, including Ku Klux Klan rallies, propaganda, materials for robes, hoods, and cross burnings. The indictment also alleges 2 KKK members were paid to stay in that group after trying to leave. Can you give us an update on where things stand there and if we're going to see some accountability?
We need to see accountability on this one. Look, let's be very clear. Southern Poverty Law Center is a group that kept looking for a reason to exist. When if you travel this country, you realize that our people, our country, whether you're white, black, or Hispanic, we just want to live in harmony and peace with our fellow neighbors in our country. So you have a group whose entire existence was trying to find racism where it didn't exist. We're glad that we're seeing that these people are going to be held accountable on Capitol Hill. I'm calling on my colleagues in the House and the Oversight Committee with Chairman James Comer. We need to do investigations on this, and I think this is something where you could potentially see Florida's Attorney General also engage in this matter. Listen, we know that there are nonprofit groups who want to do things that are civically minded, but when your entire purpose is to keep hatred alive just so you can continue to have donors and seek relevance, that's sick and it's disgusting, and that's the stuff in our politics that really needs to stop.
Congressman, this is Jason Chaffetz here. Following up on that, you know, the Department of Justice is saying there are millions of dollars that will funneled to these extremist groups. FBI Director Kash Patel said the investigation still continues on. In general, above and beyond the Southern Poverty Law Center, how concerned are you that these NGOs, under the guise of do-gooder organizations with tax benefits from the taxpayers, that they inject themselves into political quests, into political elections, rather than just donating through, say, the Democratic Party? How concerned are you about that, and what should be done?
Look, I'm very concerned. This is one of the reasons why when President Trump came back, we were going through the process of going through USAID with the fine-tooth comb, shutting down some of these groups because they are taking the taxpayers' money to divide the American people. And this is why also on Capitol Hill, one of the reasons I support ending the Senate filibuster the way it exists today and moving to a talking filibuster like Mike Lee wants to do. It's not just to pass the Save America Act. It's also that through the budget process in D.C., you can stop funding these organizations with federal tax dollars. Because what ends up happening is you get Senate Democrats who just refuse to vote for any funding if you're not, frankly, funding these front groups. And they've been disastrous for our country for a very long time. So we need to be looking at their tax status, their nonprofit status, because they're not engaged in activities that they told the American taxpayer they were engaged in. They've been trying to subvert our nation and really dismantle the political cohesion of Americans overall. So I think I'm glad to see Kash Patel and his investigations. We know that the head of the Department of Justice, I'm quite sure Mr. Blanche, is looking at this very, very closely. But we need to have a true accountability, and justice has to be done on behalf of the American people.